The bereft sister of missing £15 million footballer Emiliano Sala sobbed today after she learned the search for him was called off. NZ, I know he's still alive. He would never give up. Star striker's sibling Romina broke down at a press conference in Cardiff this afternoon after flying into the Welsh capital from Argentina to meet his club bosses. Investigators are to probe the license of missing part-time pilot Dave Ibbotson, who flew the doomed aircraft that vanished over the channel, Mail Online can exclusively reveal today. The Air Accident Investigation Branch, AIB, has confirmed it will look into whether the flight chartered by the son of mega-agent Willie McKay was legal. The six-seater Piper Malibu vanished off the coast of Alderney on Monday at 8:30 p.m. but 72 hours on Harbour Master Captain David Barker said air and sea searches are over because the chances of survival at this stage are extremely remote. Ships passing through the channel are now being asked to look out for debris, but Sala's family are furious at the decision to stop searching for the 28-year-old. Romina Sala today begged, please don't stop the search. We understand the effort, but please don't stop the search. I know he's still alive. He's a fighter. She added, the last time he spoke to him was on Monday before he said farewell to the Nantes players. He was really excited about coming to Cardiff and we were talking all day. Captain Barker responded by saying, I understand Emiliano Sala's family are not content. But I am absolutely confident we could not have done any more. Dave Ibbotson holds a British private pilot's license that allows him to fly passengers between airports as long as he doesn't profit from any journey. But if he was paid a fee amounting to more than his fuel costs and expenses to take Sala between France and Britain would be classed a commercial flight. It came as the missing Premier League star's heartbroken sister Romina met with Cardiff City officials, including manager Neil Warnock, having flown in from Argentina overnight as hope fades for her brother. This afternoon a pilot involved in the search for the missing plane said there is no chance of finding survivors. Mike Titt, from Channel Island's Air Search, told ITV, the area has been very well covered, there is absolutely no chance of finding anybody alive now, the only thing that we might be able to do would be to pinpoint where the aircraft went in, but I think the radar trace is going to be the best opportunity of doing that. Mr. Ibbotson passed his pilot's test in America in 2014. The Federal Aviation Authority register in the US says he holds a British private pilot's license, not a commercial license needed for scheduled or paid-for flights. An AIB spokesman said today that as part of its investigation they will establish the details of the booking and its operational arrangements. As part of the Probe, the Civil Aviation Authority, which regulates pilots' licenses, will also be asked to confirm Mr. Ibbotson had the instrument qualifications to fly blind at night or bad weather and was properly insured. The car today said it could not discuss the case or the missing pilot's license for data protection reasons. Mark McKay, who was acting on behalf of Salah's club FC Nantes, chartered the flight, and Salah's French agent Maisa Ndiaye also helped with the arrangements. It is understood they used our company to organize the flight. Mr. Ibbotson, a gas engineer from Scunthorpe, was one of the roster of 3 or 4 pilots regularly used to fly footballers to France and may also have carried jockeys between race meetings. Mr. McKay said in a statement last night, "I can confirm that when Emiliano made myself and his agent Maisa Ndiaye aware that he wished to travel back to Nantes following his medical and signing on Friday, he began to look into arranging a private flight to take him to Nantes on Saturday morning." That evening it was confirmed a plane was available to fly Emiliano on Saturday, which could remain in Nantes until he was due to return to Cardiff on Monday and train on Tuesday. If investigators believe the doomed flight breached the Air Navigation Order Act, the Civil Aviation Authority has the power to prosecute any individual involved in a booking. Past cases have seen pilots or aviation companies who organized their flights in the dock, so is unlikely to lead to Mr. McKay or Mr. Ndiaye facing prosecution. Previous cases have led to large fines and prison sentences of up to a year. Mr. Ibbotson, understood to be a part-time pilot who has also worked as a gas engineer and wedding DJ, is said to have flown Salah to Wales when the footballer agreed to sign last Friday. The 60-year-old, whose nickname is Debo, has 3 children and lives with wife Nora near Scunthorpe, Lincolnshire, and according to his Facebook account he checked into a hotel next to Nantes Airport on Saturday night and stayed until Monday. He is said to be a highly experienced pilot who specializes in private flights and parachute expeditions, but it is unclear how many hours he has flown. The law does allow private licensed pilots to fly strangers who agree to help cover the cost of the trip, but crucially a pilot must prove they were planning to fly to the destination already and cannot make any profit on top. The loophole has led to the rise of Uber-inspired websites connecting passengers with pilots to reduce the price of private flights between the UK and Europe from around 10,000 pound to 1,000 pound or less. The most popular website offering this service is Wingley, who confirmed to Mail Online today that Salah's flight was not booked through them. Cardiff City today reiterated that it offered to get Salah to the UK from Paris, but the player told them he already had a flight booked. Club CEO Ken Said. We made offers for Emiliano to fly on commercial flights from Paris, but the player said don't worry about that, I have alternative arrangements, I will see you at the training ground on Tuesday. He requested our club officials pick him up from the airport in Cardiff on Monday night after touchdown at 8. 45 p.m. On hindsight, we should have pushed, but we had communicated with the player and we had to respect the wishes of the player. I think that is very important, we did not want to make the player uncomfortable on any arrangements. The missing plane carrying football star Emiliano Sala may have stalled in mid-air and crashed into the sea due to a deadly buildup of ice on the wings, aviation experts have said. On Monday night, the six-seater Piper Malibu carrying new Cardiff City signing Sala back from Alastair with his former teammates in Nantes fell off the radar over Alderney. Sala and British pilot David Ibbotson, 60, are both dead after Coast Guard said yesterday that search efforts were now focused on recovery, with no hope of finding survivors. The Sun reported that one aviation expert said, there are reports that the footballer was texting saying the aircraft is shaking and breaking up are classic signs of icing on the wings. The pilot is most likely wrestling with a stall at 2,300 ft. It is likely, though, that the aircraft hit the water in one piece, otherwise debris would have quickly been found. The single-prop plane had been flying at 5,000 feet before requesting a descent to 2,300 feet from Jersey's air traffic controllers. It reached that lower altitude before dropping off radar without any further radio contact. Former pilot Alistair Rosenshine also said the plane may have become iced up in the Arctic blast currently sweeping across northern Europe, including Teup and France. He said, it's already a fairly risky crossing to do in a single-engine aircraft, especially in winter and definitely at night. There are icing problems too. It's a strange thing to do though, to go and fly over water with one engine at night in winter, because if your engine goes you're going in the water. It came after it emerged the pilot of the plane, which was chartered by the son of a former football media agent, said he was a bit rusty with its landing system hours before the doomed flight. British pilot David Ibbotson, 60, checked into Nantes Atlantique Airport shortly before takeoff after admitting to a friend on Facebook he had approached the runway on the high side but joked, tragically, better than on the low side. The American Federal Aviation Authority records Ibbotson as having a British private pilot's license, issued in 2014, which entitled him to fly the single-engine aircraft. It is not a commercial license, which would be required for scheduled flights. The plane itself, built in 1984, is registered in the United States via a Norfolk company, Southern Aircraft Consultancy, which charges £450 per year to register their aircraft with the FAA. 3 years ago the Piper aircraft was delivered to the UK from Spain by David Henderson, a British pilot. He told the BBC at the time, "One of the problems of flying over water is that ice can build up on the aircraft, and if it gets too great then it would stop flying, and the only way to get rid of ice is to descend to warmer air." Hours later at around 8:30 p.m. on Monday night, the plane carrying him and his 15 million passenger crashed into the Channel off Alderney and both men are missing, presumed dead. It is thought he first flew the Starbuck to France to say a final goodbye to his former Nantes teammates on Saturday, and was at the controls during the ill-fated final journey booked to Britain 48 hours ago. John Fitzgerald, chief officer of Channel Island's air search, said there is no hope of finding the men because even the most fit person would only survive for a few hours in the Channel in January. Revealing the operation is now recovery, not a search for survivors, he said. "Sadly, I really don't think, personally, there is any hope." At this time of year the conditions out there are pretty horrendous if you are actually in the water. The missing 1984 Piper Malibu aircraft is believed to be owned by an unnamed American who registered it with the UK's Civil Aviation Authority using Suffolk-based company Southern Aircraft Consultancy. A member of staff at a firm today refused to identify the individual or company owning the aircraft. She told Mail Online, "They have asked us not to speak to the press. We don't have any comment." "We don't have anything to do with the aircraft other than the fact that we registered it for them." The former sister-in-law of missing pilot David Ibbotson said she was shocked by the awful news. Accounts advisor Linda Goodwin said she and her sister Georgina Jimmer, the pilot and gas engineer's first wife, had no idea that he was on board the doomed flight. She said, "This is terrible, it's shocking, we had no idea. He is my ex-brother-in-law, I was at a wedding. He and my sister are divorced now but they have 2 children together. She lives in New Zealand and the kids, who are grown up, are in England." He got remarried. Messing Goodwin from Sutton in Ashfield, Nottinghamshire, added, "My sister will be devastated. This is awful news for both families, for all of us." I heard about the missing footballer but had no idea that Dave was the pilot. No one told us. I'm quite numb. He's a nice guy and I know him well. It's so sad. Cardiff City's chairman Mehmet Dalman revealed that their new star, just signed for £15 million from FC Nantes, turned down a commercial flight from Paris and chose to take a private plane instead. The pilot missing with footballer Emiliano Sala was named as a British father of 3 and gas engineer from Cardiff. David Ibbotson was at the controls of the privately owned Piper Malibu aircraft believed to have crashed into the sea near Alderney on Monday night. The pilot, whose nickname is Dibbo, is married with 3 children and lives with his wife Nora near Scunthorpe, Lincolnshire, and according to his Facebook account he checked into a hotel next to Nantes Airport on Saturday night. He is an experienced pilot specializing in private flights and parachute expeditions, but also is a qualified gas engineer running his own boiler repair company in North Lincolnshire. In Facebook posts before the doomed flight, Mr. Ibbotson told a friend he was a bit rusty with the EL instrument landing system apostrophe. He tagged himself at Nantes Airport on Saturday before telling a friend ahead of his flight on Sunday, "Was not too sick, but when I got there but I'm a bit rusty with the EL in France now." Today at the family home in Crole, 10 miles from Scunthorpe, a sobbing woman told the Grimsby Telegraph, "We do not wish to give a comment." It came as aviation experts claimed that the Piper Malibu plane that Sala was traveling in had a questionable safety record with 55 fatal crashes including 24 since 2000. Former pilot Alistair Rosenshine said the plane may have become iced up in the Arctic blast currently sweeping across northern Europe including TU and France. He said, "It's already a fairly risky crossing to do in a single-engine aircraft, especially in winter and definitely at night." There are icing problems too. It's a strange thing to do though, to go and fly over water with one engine at night in winter, because if your engine goes you're going in the water. Mr. Sala's heartbroken underwear model ex-girlfriend today blamed the football mafia after his plane vanished over the channel and said, "I can't believe this is an accident." Victoria's Secret star Berenice Schier, 27, made the extraordinary claim on social media after the new Cardiff City star's plane went missing over the English Channel after taking off in Nantes, France. On Twitter last night Berenice tweeted, "Investigate the football mafia because I don't believe this was an accident," before deleting it. Lifeboats, helicopters and even locals in fishing boats have been scouring the sea for him, but have had to stop between dusk and dawn. Posting photographs of them together, she wrote on Instagram, "Emmy, my heart is broken. I still cannot understand it. I'm destroyed. I feel pain, fear and anger for not being able to do anything. I know you're strong. We are waiting for you. I want to wake up and all of this to be a lie. Please investigate because I cannot believe this is an accident. Don't suspend the search for bad weather when you only just found objects floating." The thing I regret most is not having told you that you made me feel like I haven't felt in a while and I love you. Why does this misfortune happen to such a fascinating man full of projects, hardworking, a good person dedicated to his job? The Air Accidents Investigation Branch said today the missing plane is a Piper PA46 310P Malibu aircraft with the registration N264 Deutsche Bahn. When asked by Argentine media outlet Info before a comment, she said, "The only thing I want is for him to show up." Out of respect for the family I'd prefer to wait. I'm going to say what I need to say in a few days. The model was born in the Tres de Febrero area of the Argentine capital Buenos Aires and is believed to have been going out with the footballer for a few months last year. Reports in their home country suggest they may even have been engaged before they split up. Guernsey police said today they are prioritizing the theory that a new £15 million Cardiff City player and the pilot made it out of the wreckage found floating in the channel last night. They are also working on 3 other possibilities: that a plane was grounded on dry land either in the Channel Islands or France, the pilot and sailor were picked up by a passing ship, or they are dead in the water. French media had reported pilot David Henderson, 60, was flying the missing Piper Malibu PA46, which disappeared near the Channel Islands on Monday night. Mr. Henderson later took to Facebook to confirm he was alive and well, and it is unknown who was flying the missing PA46. But in 2015, Mr. Henderson appeared in a BBC video about his life as a transatlantic pilot and described the dangers of flying a Piper Malibu. In fact, Mr. Henderson told how he would always wear a neoprene wetsuit and packed a life raft in the back to give him '6 or 7 or 8 hours survivability in case he ditched into the Atlantic. He is filmed sitting in the cockpit of a plane, serial number N264 Deutsche Bahn minus the same as that of the missing flight, according to reports on the Aviation Safety Network Wikipage. According to South Wales Aviation Group, that same plane, A1984 Piper serial number N264 Deutsche Bahn, took off from Rose, near Cardiff, on Saturday destined for Guernsey, presumed to be en route to France. Speaking to the BBC in 2015, Mr. Henderson described the potential problems with the plane. One of the problems we can encounter is that ice can build up on the surfaces of the aircraft, Mr. Henderson explains. On the propeller and the wings, and if it gets too great the aeroplane would ultimately stop flying. And the only way in most of the aeroplanes we fly to get rid of ice is to descend into warmer air, and the ice will dissipate. Emiliano's father broke down in despair today after hearing his son's final message where he warned he was scared on board a plane that seems like it is falling to pieces. Minutes before it vanished over the channel. In the chilling recording on Monday night, the Argentine footballer, 28, sounds exhausted and can't stop yawning as he tells loved ones in Spanish they may need to send someone to find me. Before the bumpy flight began, the pilot needed up to 4 attempts to take off from Nantes in Brittany at 7. 15 p.m. as he prepared to start his new life in Cardiff after a £15 million transfer. In a final WhatsApp audio message sent to his friends, where the sound of the plane's engine is heard in the background, Salah said, "I was over in Nantes sorting things out. I am now aboard a plane that seems like it is falling to pieces. I'm going to Cardiff now, crazy, and tomorrow we get going." "I will train with my new team." He added, "If you do not have any more news from in an hour and a half, I don't know if they need to send someone to find me." "I am getting scared!" At home in Argentina, his family, including father Horacio and mother Mercedes, are clinging to the hope he will be found alive, but more than 36 hours after his disappearance it appears unlikely. Earlier it emerged he told his former Nantes teammate he feared for his safety before he took off on his doomed flight across the English Channel. The Argentinian striker completed a £15 million move to Cardiff City on Saturday. He returned to bid farewell to his old squad at Ligue 1 side Nantes, posting a poignant photo in which his former teammates spot their club's blue strip, and Salah is wearing a hoodie with the logo, "Be good, be nice." His Instagram post of the photo bore the caption, "The last goodbye." Salah was making a round trip in the same plane, and when he arrived in France, He reportedly told ex-teammate Nicolas Palois, who drove him back to Nantes Atlantic Airport, that their trip out had been bumpy and he feared his safety for the journey back. A French source close to the player said the six-seater plane only got airborne for the return trip after at least 3 failed attempts to take off from Nantes. The 28-year-old was due to return to Wales in time for training this morning, but the Piper Malibu aircraft he was in lost contact near the Casques lighthouse of Alderney at 8:30 p.m. on Monday. Cardiff City Chief Executive Kenchu Said, everyone at the club was very distressed and praying for positive news. On Tuesday at 5 p.m. Channel Island's rescue teams called off the search for the day. It is expected to resume today at first light. In a statement, Guernsey police said, during the course of the 15-hour search, which used multiple air and sea assets from the Channel Islands, UK and France, a number of floating objects have been seen in the water. We have been unable to confirm whether any of these are from the missing aircraft. We have found no signs of those on board. If they did land on the water, the chances of survival are at this stage, unfortunately, slim. John Fitzgerald, chief officer of the Channel Islands Air Search, said he was not optimistic about finding Salah and the pilot. He said, "I don't think the Coast Guard are either. We just don't know how it disappeared." It just completely vanished. There was no radio conversation. Mr. Fitzgerald said there could be a 5% chance of finding Salah and the pilot, adding, "I think with the sea temperatures and the sea conditions the chances of finding anybody alive are reducing all the time." The sea temperatures are very, very cold, and just as a core temperature of anybody in the water very, very quickly. French police, the French Civil Aviation Authority and Nantes Football Club confirmed that Salah was one of the 2 people on board the single-prop plane. The Piper Malibu was flying at 2,300 feet and requested descent as it passed Guernsey but was lost off radar as Jersey Air Traffic Control attempted to make contact. It went missing as severe weather warnings about snow and ice were issued across France. A search which scrambled within minutes of the plane disappearing was called off at 2 a.m. on Tuesday morning due to strengthening winds, worsening sea conditions and reducing visibility, but resumed at 8 a.m., before being halted overnight again at sunset on Tuesday. Thousands of people have joined vigils in France and in Wales, and have laid wreaths outside Salah's former club in Nantes, and outside the ground of Cardiff City where he was due to start training on Tuesday morning. This morning the official Nantes FC Twitter account posted a statement and a message to their followers about the missing striker, reading, "The management and the whole club are hopeful and it is the whole family of FC Nantes who prays that Emiliano Sala 1 and the other passengers of the plane are finally found safe and sound." FC Nantes joins the call of supporters for the rally tonight from 6:30 p.m. at the Royal Place in Nantes to drop a yellow tulip at the foot of the fountain. They added in a second tweet. The club later changed its profile picture to a photo of Salah. Salah's former teammate, French Congo midfielder Lucas Do, tweeted, "I hope from the bottom of my heart that this is not true." Salah was fulfilling the dream of a lifetime by moving to the UK, and could not wait to start playing in Cardiff, according to a friend in France. When he left the grounds yesterday to head to Cardiff, Nantes FC tweeted, "Merci Emi, forever yellow and green." After joining Cardiff on Saturday, Salah's sister Romina proudly shared the news story about his signing, saying, "Big brother, D." His father Horacio told Argentine Channel C5 and he was made aware of the news by a friend. He said, "A friend called me and told me what had happened. I'm in Rosario now, I'm working because I'm a truck driver." "I didn't know anything. I just can't believe it. I'm desperate. I don't know what could have happened." He said striker Emiliano, from the small town of Progreso in Argentina's northeastern Santa Fe province, had been excited to be moving to Cardiff and playing in the Premier League. He added, "To get a chance to play at a big European club was an amazing step for him and for his town back home." He is a humble small town boy. Everybody is watching the TV and waiting. Hopefully some good news arrives. His mother, Mercedes Taffarel, told the same TV-Station, "We don't have any more news." "The only thing I know is that the plane took off and they are searching for it. We don't know anything yet, they haven't found anything." "We are just here waiting, minute after minute." I spoke to him a few hours before he took off. "I don't know what else to say, I'm so worried." They called me from France to tell me that his plane had gone missing and they were looking for him. "We are in constant communication and desperate for good news." He was very happy and content with the transfer. He was enjoying the best moment of his career so far. He would come over often to visit us, and we would go to visit him there. He was alone, he didn't have any family members with him in France. The Premier League club had signed Salah on a 3.5-year contract on Saturday. Nantes announced their French Cup match to be staged on Tuesday night against Lens until Saint-Louis Saint-Gratien had been postponed in agreement with the French Football Federation. Amina Arid, a Moroccan footballer who played with Salah at Nantes before joining German side FC Schalke in 2017, tweeted me. Followed by a string of praying hands and crying emojis. Salah is understood to be very close to his family in Argentina, and spoke to his mother who still lives there most days, but still believed his destiny was in Britain. Has in touch with his family all the time, mainly on WhatsApp, a Brittany-based source Said. His mom often visits, along with his brother and sister. He's very loyal to them all, as he is to everybody. The English Premiership was his dream, though. Emiliano is also very religious. He prays a lot. His Catholic faith is very important to him. Speaking on TV channel CNF's, Nantes President Waldemar Kita Said today, I think that he came back because he wanted to say goodbye to his friends. He was a polite, kind and adorable boy, loved by everyone. He was very respectful, very courteous. I am thinking about his family and all his friends. For the rest, we don't know yet. I am still hoping that it is not finished, that he is somewhere, that he will be there. I have just found about this. I was not even aware that he was at Nantes. He is no longer owned by Nantes, he does what he wants. And I say that because I am still hopeful that we will find him. Salah was grew up in Progreso, an Argentine town with only 3,000 inhabitants in Santa Fe province, in the centre-east of the country. As a kid, he watched a lot of the English Championship on TV, he said in a recent interview in France. Referring to two retired French players, Salah Said, he liked Arsenal, with Thierry Henry and Robert Pires. Salah has a younger brother, an electrician, and a sister, who is a care worker, both in Argentina. He left home when he was 15 to become a professional footballer, but is immensely loyal to his roots. Salah could have been set to make his debut at the Emirates against Arsenal on January 29. Speaking on Saturday after signing for the Bluebirds, Salah Said, I can't wait to start training, meet my new teammates and get down to work. Also, speaking at the time of the unveiling, CEO and Executive Director, Ken Chu, added, "It's obviously been a long process to secure the services of Emiliano, but I'm very pleased that we're now in a position whereby we can confirm his signature and officially announce him as a Cardiff City player." We see Emiliano as a significant acquisition and welcome him wholeheartedly to the capital city of Wales. I'm sure all Cardiff City fans will join me in that, and we can look forward to seeing our record signing in our Bluebirds shirt. Before switching to Cardiff, Salah was the third highest scorer in League 1 this season with 12 goals, behind only Kylian Mbappé and Nicolas Pepe. He said at the time, "For me it feels special, to be the club's record signing. I have come here wanting to work and to help my teammates and the club. I can't wait to get to work straight away and do everything I can." Speaking earlier today, Mr. Fitzgerald said the plane could have glided for around 5 or 6 miles without a working engine. I am sure something will be found eventually. The plane was flying at 2,000 feet when it dropped off the radar, so it could have flown for about 5 or 6 miles before touching down. But whether it was a controlled ditching or if it dived in, we just do not know. If it was a controlled ditching, you would expect to find a life raft, but if it was uncontrolled, you expect an oil slick and wreckage may be found. No decision on which country will investigate the disappearance of the aircraft carrying footballer Emiliano Sala has been announced. Under global aviation guidelines, initial responsibility for an accident lies with the state where it occurred. If a crash happens in international waters, then the country where an aircraft is registered takes the primary role. However, states often delegate responsibility if an accident happens far from their territory. That means the UK's Air Accidents Investigation Branch, AIB, is likely to have some role in the inquiry into what happened to the aircraft which went missing over the channel. An AIB spokesman said, "We are liaising with the relevant authorities." Last year, Leicester City's billionaire owner and 4 others were killed in a helicopter crash outside their club's grounds. Via Srivadana Prabha's aircraft was seen spiraling through the sky and into the ground shortly after taking off from the King Power Stadium last October. Pilot Erik Swaffel and his co-pilot Isabella Lechowicz, who was also his girlfriend, prevented greater loss of life by steering the doomed craft away from crowds of fans. They died alongside Kavalborn Punpare, an assistant to Mr. Srivadana Prabha, and his colleague Nusara Subnamai, a former beauty queen who worked for the billionaire. A smiling selfie taken on a private jet by Cristiano Ronaldo has been criticized by Gary Lineker, who called it insensitive because Emiliano Sala's plane had vanished hours earlier. Salah is missing and presumed dead after the plane taking him to Cardiff from Nantes in France went down over the Channel Islands on Monday night. Yesterday Ronaldo tweeted a triumphant thumbs-up photo as he left Madrid for Turin after accepting a huge fine and suspended jail sentence for tax fraud, having struck a deal with Spanish prosecutors. But former England captain and BBC pundit Gary Lineker replied no today for this tweet. It really isn't in a clear reference to the Salah tragedy. Mr. Lineker's tweet has split opinion, with some backing his insensitivity claim, with others saying Ronaldo would have had no idea about the tragedy in Chennai. Salah and his pilot lost made contact from their Piper 46 Malibu just off Alderney at 8. 30 p.m. on Monday. Today Coast Guard helicopters and lifeboats scoured 1,100 square miles of sea before halting the search at nightfall. They found nothing but debris, and Guernsey police said Tipper's chances of survival if they ditched in the icy waters were slim. They warned they are not expecting to find survivors. In a WhatsApp audio note recorded on the doomed flight, Salah told friends he was aboard a plane that seems like it is falling to pieces before going on to say I am getting scared. Ronaldo, 33, who plays for Portugal and Juventus, will pay a total of €18.8 million, 16 Pfund. €5 million, after pleading guilty at a hearing in Madrid this morning. As he left the court he told the crowds everything's perfect! Ronaldo, who went to court with his girlfriend Georgina Rodriguez, also received a 23-month prison sentence, which was immediately reduced to a further fine, and he will not spend a day in jail. His former Real Madrid teammate Xabi Alonso is also in court on a separate tax evasion charge, which could lead to a 5-year sentence that, unlike Ronaldo, may see him behind bars if he is found guilty. Ronaldo, who left Madrid last summer to join Juventus, wore a black jacket with buttons, white trainers and dark sunglasses as he arrived at court with his girlfriend. Ronaldo's lawyers had asked that he be allowed to enter the building by car to avoid the media spotlight. But the court president refused the request, saying that despite his great fame, he would not compromise security at the building. The former Manchester United forward's request to appear via video conference was also denied, so he walked up the court steps today and even signed autographs. The court appearance lasted around 30 minutes as the deal was officially presented to the judge, who confirmed the final sentence later on Tuesday.